Hello everybody, thanks for joining me on the 2-year anniversary of Earnestly Eston, my channel. I thought I'd do a quick happy anniversary to myself video just to reflect a little bit over the last couple of years. You know, when I got started with this channel, I did not really have Booktube in mind. I was not even really that aware of Booktube. I was vaguely aware of it. I was, you know, I had been watching some channels already, but you know, I didn't really start the channel as a Booktube per se channel. I really thought of myself as a cultural miner. You know, I thought I would start a channel that sort of was cultural mining. And you know, if you're not familiar with the idea of cultural mining, I'll put a video. There's a really nice video from the School of Life about cultural mining on YouTube that I will link to in the details below. But you know, that's sort of what I vaguely had in mind. But really, you know, where my inspiration really ultimately came from was my dad, I think. My dad, you know, grew up in the 1930s in rural Arkansas in the South. So he grew up during the Depression, and then following the Depression was World War II, which was another 4 or 5 years of sort of deprivation. So he grew up in sort of this unusual, to me anyway, circumstance, and he had a lot of really interesting stories from his childhood. And then as he was older, he actually recorded these on cassettes, recorded his stories on cassettes. And I eventually bought him a really nice digital recorder, but he always wanted to use the old cassette players, you know. And so ultimately, my sister and I had to go searching for, when his broke, we had to go to thrift stores trying to find one for him. But, you know, he was a great storyteller, and I had tried blogging before, you know, writing a blog, and it just didn't ever really click with me and work with me. And so I thought, well, maybe I'm like my dad, and maybe I'm a better verbal storyteller than I am you know, in writing as far as storytelling goes. So I decided to give my channel a try, and you know, I just jumped out in there. I didn't really talk about books that much at first. My first videos were really about privilege, and what it was I was you know, in some other social media, in some discussion groups and things, and kind of a hot topic at that time was the discussion of privilege, you know, as far as it goes with social justice and also toxic masculinity. I think I did videos on those at first. You know, I didn't really have any subscribers. Even the people I know didn't subscribe to me. I had like hardly any subscribers. I got a couple of subscribers after a couple of weeks, and you know, I ended up having really not that many subscribers for a very long time. But you know, that was fine because I was still enjoying doing the videos. Eventually I did a book chat, not really a book chat, I wasn't calling them book chats at that point, but I did a discussion of a book I read called Mind and Cosmos by Thomas Nagel, and I'll link down below. It's obviously one of my earliest videos, so it's not one of the best, but that video just consistently started getting views, and I wound up getting more subscribers, but it was well over a year, and I still only had like 41 subscribers. But you know, I really loved doing the videos, and I eventually chatted about the operas that I saw, as well as the concerts that I went to, like the classical music concerts that I went to. I did a few movie things and a couple of TV things, you know, chats, and so that's sort of how it went for the first year or so. Then after a little over a year, I think I got a shout out on Bree Hill's channel, and I started getting more subscribers following that. But you know, if you were with me in those early days when I only had like 3 or 10 for those months, if you're still here, you know, thanks a lot for sticking with me. But it's just been a really great experience, and much better than I kind of expected. You know, as far as my channel name goes, I chose the channel name Earnestly Eston. I was gonna choose something around the importance of being earnest, you know, the Oscar Wilde play, because I always liked that sort of, to say that, the importance of being earnest. I mean, it's just, to me, it's a fun play, and so I was kind of toying with, you know, importance of being earnest, or you know, being earnest, because I wanted, you know, it to reflect, you know, a genuineness. I wanted to be my genuine self on my channel. So I wound up, Eston is my middle name, and so I wound up sort of playing with the title of the importance of being earnest. and then picked Eston because, it's kind of the alliteration there, Earnestly Eston. So that's how I got my channel name. But it's, my channel eventually, I originally shied away from some of the social aspects of YouTube and BookTube, mainly because of my experience on other social media, I think, where it seems like some of my other social media, while it might be sort of fun to discuss stuff or whatever, it really turned a lot of times into debates and dialogues and Discord, and so I really sort of shied away from that and really just stuck to doing my videos for the first probably year. So now, though, I'm really glad that over time I have engaged with the wider BookTube and YouTube communities, and I've really met some wonderful people. That sort of my fear that I had when I was going into it about there being a lot of debate or maybe, nasty comments or whatever, turned out not to be the case. I've had a few, but very few, much fewer than I expected. Really only, I think, maybe like 2 or 3. I've had some dislikes, but that's fine. Disliking my video is not the same thing as leaving a nasty comment. But, I've only had a couple of those. So it's turned out to be, really a rewarding experience. Yeah, so, over time, I think that my channel really evolved, especially probably over the last year. I got better at my chats. I think I started calling, the book chats. My goal was never to really give a review of a book. My goal was always to pull from it, really just relate my experience, like what I pulled from that book that was relevant to me. That's the cultural mining aspect. And then I, did that with my operas too, my opera chats. I haven't done so many concert chats lately because I haven't been, and I missed probably the last 2 that I didn't do chats on, and I'm going to try to get back into doing that more. Then I started my Being Stoic series, which was working chapter by chapter through Epictetus. I've been working on that for quite a while. I'm almost finished with book 1, and I actually will have a video, another video for Epictetus coming up soon. So that project's going to continue on because that's been very rewarding. And, it's just turned out to be a great experience, and I'm looking forward to the coming year. It's really impacted my reading. When I went into it, I didn't want the channel. I how the Miley Cyrus song, we run the things, we don't run we. They don't run we. We run the things, they don't run we. We can't stop, we won't stop, the Miley Cyrus song. We run the things. I wanted to run the channel. I didn't want the channel to run me. So in other words, I didn't want it to really impact what I was doing. I didn't want to just to try to maybe get subscribers or get viewers or to get views. I didn't want to really change my point of view or really my philosophy in order to chase that sort of thing. I wanted it to be genuine. I wanted it to be earnest. I wanted to be Earnestly Eston. So I really kind of tried to stick with that. But for the coming year, I ended up learning a lot from other YouTubers and booktubers. My reading has really deepened, really because of a lot of the people that I've interacted with on BookTube and YouTube, and I'm really grateful for that. This would be a really good time to give some shout outs to some people. I hesitate to do that though because I always feel like I leave people out, and I do have a pretty good list of people that channels that I go to. I think that probably you know who you are. That I go to and really follow what you say and really get a lot from your videos. So I appreciate the wider community, and I'm happy to be engaged with it now a little bit more than I have been traditionally on my channel. So future plans, I plan to kind of just keep doing what I've been doing. With my book chats, opera chats. I would like to get some more other culture in, maybe movies. Lectures. I did one video on a lecture I went to. I think doing videos helps push me to go to this type of thing. I really want to try to. I live in the DC area. The Smithsonian and stuff have lectures that I need to really take more advantage of, as well as book signings and stuff. I really need to do that more. And so I'm going to try to engage in that more in 2018. And then I will be doing, when I do manage to make it to events like that, I will be, I'll do videos on those too. So I think I will stop my little remembrance of the last 2 years with that. I'm looking forward to the years to come on YouTube, Booktube, and interacting with all of you all. Thank you all who have commented on my videos, who have subscribed to me. You know, I really appreciate it, because really it's that interaction that really adds the value and the context to what I'm doing. So I do appreciate it. So until my next video, take care. Bye.